Lent is here, and you might be wondering what you should do this year to grow in your spiritual life and intercede for our troubled world. Here is an idea. After one of our monks gave us a retreat, I became aware of how prevalent the topic of not judging is in the tradition, the sayings of our desert fathers and mothers, the first men and women who went to the desert to live monastic life in the 4th and 5th century. So there are so many of their sayings and stories that repeat time and again. Do not judge your brother. Do not judge your sister. Do not judge others because you don't know the whole story. You don't know the heart. Well, Jesus himself tells us in the gospel, do not judge and you won't be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. But do we take it seriously? I mean, how many times maybe we start gossiping, murmuring, or judging others, maybe aloud or maybe just inside in our hearts? Do we realize how bad this is? Well, the book of Revelation speaks about the devil as the accuser of the brethren. And when we judge others, when we accuse others, we are becoming like the devil. We are becoming accusers. We are becoming source of division. We are putting ourselves in the place of God, thinking that we know everything, that we know that brother, we know that sister enough to judge and condemn him or her. What's the effect that this has in the world and in ourselves? Well, you just have to look at the news and you'll see the division that is caused by this judging, that by thinking the other one is the evil one. Okay, we also see it in the church, which is so sad because precisely it's the devil who likes to push us in that direction because he knows what we all know, divide and conquer. So what can we do? This Lent, I invite you to take the practice to give up judging others in your hearts or aloud. Anytime one of these judging thoughts or words come to your mind or to your mouth, stop it. Stop it. Ask the Lord to help you become aware and stop judging others in your heart or aloud with others. Because this also has a great effect in our own hearts. I will tell you a little story of the Desert Fathers. So one of these monks left his cell, his monastery, and went to visit another monastery. And on the way, he saw a brother who committed a sin, and he condemned him in his heart. When he went back to his monastery and tried to enter his own cell, he found an angel right there before the door of his cell. And the angel wouldn't allow him to enter the cell. So the monk asked him, okay, what's going on? Why don't you let me go inside? And the angel replied, God has sent me to ask you where you want to throw the guilty brother whom you have condemned. Where you want to throw the guilty brother whom you have condemned. Immediately he repented and said, I have sinned, forgive me. The angel said, get up, God has forgiven you, but from now on be careful not to judge someone before God has done so. Be careful not to judge someone before God has done so. When we begin the time of Lent, one of the practices we want to reinforce is prayer. But the Lord tells us that when we want to pray, we need to enter our inner room. We need to enter the cell of our hearts. But what happens if we are judging others? An angel of the Lord stands before that door, and we cannot enter the cell of our hearts to prayer. Our prayer is not true prayer when there is anger, when there is judgment of others in our hearts. So this can be a great practice for Lent. Become aware of your thoughts, especially when thoughts of judging and condemning others come to your mind or to your mouth, and stop them there. Ask the Lord to free you from those thoughts, from those words, from the habit of criticizing others. You will find peace, and you will be a person who is building up the peace, the communion, the love the Lord wants in the world and in His church. And you will be able to find it in your own heart and pray. If you have enjoyed this video, I invite you to share it with others, to subscribe to our channel, and to like the video, because this helps others to see it also and helps us to share the good news. I also invite you during this difficult time in our world to join us in prayer for the Ukraine, for peace in the world.